Hi everyone, and welcome to McKeeman Communications Live After Lunch. I am Whitney Williams, Account Supervisor and Social Media Manager with McKeeman. Speaking of social media, one of the biggest trends right now that keeps coming up for us is the use of influencer marketing for both brands big and small. There seems to really be a growing opportunity for brands to partner with influencers to get that authentic take on their products and services. In fact, a lot of our clients are even diving headfirst into these partnerships as we're finding more and more customers are really relating to and trusting the opinions of influencers or bloggers rather than just finding their facts on a brand's website or social media. And I know personally that I like to hear opinions of my family and friends as well, rather than just finding it online. And I mean, if you agree with me, give me a quick thumbs up here. That lets me know audio's working well, visuals is looking okay. And in fact, you may hear my dog a little bit, so welcome, Kelso. But I know that we are bringing in the big dogs for this one, and I'm hoping she likes that phrase. Today, I'm actually going to be talking with Becca Ingle. She is a digital influencer, entrepreneur, and mom of 2 toddlers, which is sometimes the hardest job of them all, but also the most rewarding. She's based right here in North Carolina. Becca and her family really travel all over the world to help inspire and educate her followers about traveling with kids and how that can be done. It's not something that's, super hard or just a dream. You can make it happen. She's even contributed a lot of wonderful articles in Forbes, like the 25 best places to travel in 2020, or how to afford the world's best bucket list trips, which I thought was the most interesting. I really loved that one. So she'll be helping us dive really deep into influencer marketing today, how she got started specifically, how it's changed over the years, and especially in this pandemic, as well as how brands can get started if it's the first time they've ever done this, and what they should expect from that influencer partner. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and invite her on. All right.
Hi.
Hi, Becca. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. Have a couple followers on here. They're all giving us a thumbs up and waving. So hello and welcome, everyone.
Nice. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. Are
Okay,
you at home
perfect.
today?
I just came to Starbucks so that I have
Oh,
no
perfect place.
distractions.
There you go. You gotta love it. You can get some caffeine as well.
Yeah.
So if you want, we'll go ahead and dive right in because I've got a lot of questions. I'm so excited about this one.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay, so I know you have around like 86,000 Instagram followers right now, so it may be or seem like another lifetime ago. But could you share a little bit about how you got started with this?
Yeah, for sure. So it's funny because I actually started my daughter's profile, which is now the swim line that we're creating, Lane Snow, before my blog page. So a couple of our friends had just mentioned I should start sharing her outfits because she was super cute. And then a few of my best friends already had blogs. Her name was Emily. She had Sweet Potato Sneakers, and she did mainly food blogging.
Nice.
And she was just telling me how much she made from post getting paid. And I was like, okay, well, I definitely can do that. It just put this fire in me to see if I could do it. And I knew other girls that were doing it. So I just started documenting our trips and kind of writing about it on my own. Like I didn't have any partnerships. I didn't have anything. I just posted clothes I like to wear and went on trips that we were already paying for. And then I wrote about it and just tagged the brands. And it kind of evolved from there. Like I started getting messages from friends like, did you like where you stayed at the hotel? Like, what did you take for the kids? Can you recommend this hotel? Do you like this restaurant? So just from that, I was kind of waiting for it, and I don't know why I thought it would just come to me. And I've been a recruiter for 10 years now for my full-time job. So I'm used to like reaching out to people for different jobs. And I was like, you know what? I need to take that same mentality and use it for blogging. So I started reaching out to brands on my own. I got a little overwhelming. I would like stay up all night and like message like hundreds of brands. And then they all started getting back to me. I even reached out to Airbnbs on Instagram, hotels on Instagram, and all it takes is one person to say yes. And then it
Right.
just went from there. And I feel like as you can only get better on Instagram, like people are seeing you, you're building your brand. It's not something that gets worse, in my opinion, on here, unless you do something,
Oh yeah.
negatively.
No, it's such a fun creative outlet. I
Hmm.
feel like because it is so quick and your feed is constantly rolling, it's kind of like if you do something that doesn't really work, keep going and you're going to find your flow. Because I definitely tell you have a really creative flow and it's exciting to look at, and definitely I can see people asking for those opinions. I was reading through some and even taking notes myself. So it's been super helpful. So I guess it was really no specific game plan. It's more just about getting out there, making a list maybe of your priority brands or maybe avenues you want to go in. Like it sounds like you're really more travel, and
Yes.
just
Hmm.
taking it from there.
I think it's really important to have a theme, like how my best friend had food blogging, or if you're fashion, because if you're not passionate about where you're posting, you're going to be hating your life. Like,
Right.
even though we love traveling and I love getting pictures of the kids, like the first year blogging was probably one of the hardest years of my life. It was trying to get the kids to get photos and realize what I like taking and enjoying the vacation, but also getting videos of the places for the followers to see. So it's just a lot of work. So if you're not loving what you're showing, you're going to burn out really quickly.
Yeah, that's something we've really been harping on with whether it's our clients or we're just speaking to our followers is like, the way these influencers, including probably yourself, I'm sure you could speak to this, thrive is you're being authentic to yourself. You're only
Hmm.
posting or sharing information that's authentic to you, not something that makes zero sense just because a friend
Right.
reached out.
Right.
So I think it's cool that, you have the opportunity to really say yes or no. It's not just, hey, we'll do anything. And that's
Yeah.
what makes it so valuable to that brand.
And I think in the beginning, you say yes to a lot because you're like, oh, you're trying to get your name out there.
Right.
And my just biggest recommendation is just don't get overwhelmed. I think I said yes to too much stuff, and you just don't only want to post what is you like anyways.
Right. Exactly. And that makes total sense. And I mean, I know you mentioned your full time job, and of course, you're an influencer as well. And I guess you're just adding to the resume because I also heard you
Hmm.
mention you are CEO of Lane Snow. That's a swimwear
Yes.
line.
Yes, so like that's been a dream of mine to do for a while, and we actually we're going to partner with some swim lines this year. And
Right.
after thinking about it, and then COVID hit, and it all washed, and one of my another best friend was like, "You should just create your own line," and I was like, "You know what? I don't want to take that on. It felt like a lot to think
Yeah.
about." And then the more I thought about it, it just made more sense in the long run. Like I'm sharing swimsuits every day and promoting
Right.
it for other businesses. I'm not making profit, maybe a small commission, or I'm really just directing people to other brands. So at the end of the day, I want to direct people back to the suits that I made and I love that I'm putting my kids in, and that that we've like put a lot of time in. So we've been
Right.
back and forth with manufacturers out of California, and we're hoping to have that launch and get samples by the fall so we can start sharing that and be ready for it by next year. But it is a long process.
I know, I'm sure. Well, it just speaks again to how that's so authentic to you. Like, I love that you're doing a swimwear line, and I love the meaning behind the name. I thought that was so interesting. Because one of the things when we're talking about digital marketing with our clients is like you always want to bring people back to your website. You
Mm-hmm.
never want your social posts or your email marketing to drive people to others' websites. You want
Right.
to really look at how can you bring people back into your house. So I think that was a perfect explanation of like why this makes sense for you. And I'm
Yeah.
excited to hopefully purchase some
Yeah.
in the
So
coming future.
it's Lane Snow on here for y'all that are following, and it's my it was originally my daughter's page, but it's her name and her middle name combined. So that's where that came from.
Perfect. And so going back a little bit, I know you mentioned you kind of made a list of some brands that you immediately started reaching out to. Do you feel like that you had to hit a certain following before you felt like, okay, now I can start reaching out, or now they'll start responding? Or was it kind of like immediate?
No, it was immediate. And that's my biggest recommendation to everyone that's starting a blog or getting out there. Like you can have as low as 5,000 followers. I mean, as long as you're posting good photos and quality content, like it's your brand. I think we got
Right.
a free stay when I was only at 10,000 followers. And free clothes. You know, like I follow girls all the time that are not even doing this, you know, as a career and maybe have
Right.
like 1,000 people, but they're still you're still models for the company. So they should be sending you stuff and be getting paid for it.
Right. And I mean, as far as brand partnerships go, for like brands tuning into this who maybe are thinking like, oh, I can't afford a partnership with an influencer, you know, do you feel like that trade's really something great that they can offer, you know, as far as their products and services to really, you know, get you to decide if that's authentic to you and something you want to share?
Yeah, I actually had a small brand reach out yesterday. And he was just getting started in the clothing department and he wanted to send us stuff and he didn't have a budget, but has been doing like camera and video work on the back end. And he was like, I will use my drone. I will film y'all. I'll do it. Hold on. Oh, I have. Yeah. Inside. Oh. Okay, I'll walk outside. I gotta walk outside. Sorry.
No worries. No worries
Hold
at all.
on. All these
Hey, this is the fun of a pandemic. You know, you just gotta make it work.
regulations. They're like,
Uh-huh.
if you're done eating, you can't sit here without a mask, apparently.
Oh, well, bring me another latte then.
I know, so crazy. Hold on,
No worries.
over here. So, anyways, he offered like his drone and all the video stuff for us
Yeah,
in
no, and that's a perfect
exchange,
example.
which is huge, you know.
Right, because it's not just about, you know, like a lot of brands are getting creative with what they're able to start out offering, and then they build that
Right.
relationship, and you know things will evolve over time. But I think that offers, you know, both you and the brand to kind of come up with a game plan yourself versus, you know, and that's one of the things I wanted to actually mention to you is, do you like when you can kind of collaborate with the brand on, you know, what it's going to look like as far as, you know, what you'll post, what products you'll be sharing, or do you kind of like when they just do that for you and you can really make it happen?
I like when there's not really any instruction. Like
Right?
they'll just send it and I can organically post, and it's not like scripted. Because when
Right.
it starts to get that, it just feels, you know, fake and not authentic. And I don't, every time I see someone do that, I have shaking my head like it's so fake.
No, I completely agree. It's I've had a couple where I've followed, and I do typically like their content, but because I follow them so closely, I can kind of tell if something's a little off or maybe not realistic, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's definitely true. And we have a question, actually. Your friend Katie Parker here. She said, "What would you recommend to businesses who want to partner with an influencer, maybe for the first time? I'm assuming."
Yeah, I would recommend reaching out all angles. Like send them a DM, comment on their picture that you sent them a DM, send them an email, send up a follow email. I mean, I get slammed, I get busy, but the brands that like follow up or catch my eye probably like got in touch with me multiple ways. And
Right.
I at least respond and say, hey, I'm not interested, or hey, that budget isn't good enough. Or exactly, you know, what they're looking for and kind of just talk through it with an influencer of what they'd be willing to offer.
No, I love that. And so really just social media contact, email contact if you have that listed, you know,
Yeah.
anything and
Mm-hmm.
everything.
And most bloggers have their contact info on their websites on the blog too. So make sure to look there.
Oh, for sure. That's a good thought. And, you know, with, I guess, this pandemic and change really to everything, you know, have you found that influencer marketing overall has shifted in any way? Has it, you know, gotten more intense, or has it slowed down, or, you know, how has that shifted?
Sorry, I see my husband's on here. He's trying to call me.
Hello,
I want
husband.
barbecue chicken tonight. So, anyways,
There you go.
so I think it's changed for the better. Honestly, it's been crazy to see how many people are online right now during the pandemic. I mean, what's everyone else got to do? I never watched this much TV or was on Instagram this much as before. So it's really helped with influencer marketing. My views on my stories, on my pictures have doubled, if not skyrocketed over the last couple months. And brands are just noticing how much trend is on online. Like I've never worked with more clothing companies this month, more businesses online. So it's definitely trending for online in the right direction. Um, and I see more of that like happening, especially with like stores shutting down. A lot of people are just shopping online.
Right. Well, and everybody, a large piece of our client base is restaurant and retail, which we talked about earlier, and all of them sort of shifting to this new way of serving their customers and really needing to get the word out, but not having that in-person touch point. And so, influencer marketing, social media, that sort of
Mm-hmm.
avenue has really been such a godsend for a lot of our clients because we've been able to reach our customers in a new way.
Right.
So, when these brands are reaching out to you, they've contacted you all the different avenues, and you're ready to kind of talk, what can really make it a win-win for you and the brand? Like, obviously, the brand is going to have some thought of, like, whether it's a product or service they really want to touch on. But, what makes it a win for you as well?
Usually if it's a product or something, I mean, when we were going on vacations all the time, having new clothes to shoot, clothes for the kids was a win for me. It was just
Right.
having new images as a blogger is hard. Starting out, it's hard to afford having multiple outfits. People don't want to see you posting the same dress every day. So it's
Right.
just a win in that aspect for me. I'm saving money. I'm not spending it on anything. I mean, I even partner with restaurants around here. And showcase going out to eat. We have been partnered with our security system and for our house and our beach house. Almost everything in our beach house was a partnership, and that was a win for me. It was like bed frames, mattresses,
Wow.
outdoor furniture. So pretty much anything you can think of. When it's not a win for me is when it's not something I would wear. Like
Right.
I'm not just going to post. I don't need extra clothes for nothing. Or when it's something that's like the kids don't need, more toys or anything. But like the latest
Never.
partnership I did with Kiwi, I had wanted those Kiwi boxes for so long.
Yeah.
And I had reached out to them, and then they finally got back to me and were like, "Oh, we'd love to send you one." So that when I really want something, it's a win for me when they send it to me. Um,
No.
but I
I,
saw someone comment on here like, "How do you keep up?" And
right.
I feel like I'm going nonstop from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. But I try, since I enjoy it so much, like this is the stuff I want to be doing, like
Right.
TikToks, Instagram, editing photos. Like that's where my number one passion is. So it doesn't feel like work to me at all. And I think that's just how I keep going. It's like energy for me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I hear that all the time. It's, if it's something you really enjoy doing, it doesn't feel so much like work. We actually have another question here coming in. What's the most non-traditional partnership you've done?
Trying like out of the blue, like not
Yeah,
hotels. Um, I don't really accept anything that's like not non. I mean, I guess like the security system for our
right,
house was like a partnership. I mean, Home Depot. I'm not a home blogger, and I don't try to be.
right,
So I think when I did the Home Depot partnership, that was kind of non-traditional for me. We did a
right,
makeover of our downstairs bedroom. Just because that space I'm not familiar with, I leave that to the experts and the
yeah,
designers. So that's like another avenue. If you want to be a home blogger, I would only post about home stuff you want to do and stuff like that. So that just
right,
kind of felt out of the realm for me too. But I loved, attempting it and doing it. I just don't go and search for those home makeovers. But let me know if
right,
that
right.
answered your question or if you were looking for something else.
No, I think that was exactly what she was looking for. Because I think it's good to know that you may not be exactly like a travel agent or a
Hmm.
hotel, but there may be a certain way that it makes sense for you to partner with an influencer who maybe is local to the area where your customers are in, and
Hmm.
maybe on their personal time they like to frequent, whether it's a restaurant or a clothing store, or, whatever that may be, something with the kids, maybe a trampoline, what do they call it?
Right.
Trampoline factories. um, so I think that
Yes.
that was helpful just to kind of let them know that it doesn't have to be so direct, like, if I'm not
Right.
this, then I can't partner.
Right. Hmm.
And so would you say that they, as a best bet, they should really always ask an influencer for a media kit first to kind of really see and make sure that it's a good fit?
I think maybe the bigger brands, but honestly, I think you can just tell from their page and their engagement. Sometimes I'm like, companies need to hire bloggers for their PR because we know it better than them, in my opinion, on
Right.
who's like real and who's not. Um, but when I first started, I didn't even know what a media kit was. So when someone would ask me that, I would just send them my insights, and then I slowly started making one.
Right.
Um, but it was just more like, let you can see your insights on your Instagram business page. And I think that's more important than a media kit that someone makes up themselves. Like you need direct
Right.
numbers to show your performance, and you can see how many website clicks. I mean, Instagram shows it all on here.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, speaking of that, I think that's another big question that a lot of brands are asking. A lot of the times that's not their job description to be able to read social analytics, and so they really don't
Mm-hmm.
know what's good, what's not good, what should I be asking for. And so, if you had to kind of give top 5 things that they should really ask for as it pertains to your social analytics from a partnership,
Mm-hmm.
what would those be for you?
I would say you want to share, everyone's asking for these right now, your insights over the last year for the photos, your website clicks, your swipe up stories, how many story views you're getting. And I think it's important to show your blog post on past partnerships and what you did for them. And then if, like me, if I'm writing for Forbes or Family Traveler, I want to see what other outlets that you're connected to also push things. Like if I'm staying, I tell my best friend that owns Midtown Tutor that just went live today to book. It was that cute Airbnb in Wilmington all the time because she's new to this. If bloggers reach out to you, you need to make them do these things and not just give them a free stay. You need to show what outlets they have to help you promote their business too.
Exactly. And I think that's super helpful to know on the front end rather than just waiting and then asking these questions at the end and realizing,
Mm-hmm.
that's not really what I was looking for. Because I think that's the biggest thing is they just, don't know where to start. They don't know what to offer, what's good, and this is really, it's not a new thing, but it's definitely becoming a more popular thing, I think, as
Mm-hmm.
just the world shifts. And a lot of brands that we've worked with, whether local or big national brands, some of them are turning more to like those micro and gosh, I feel like even nano influencers with smaller followings because they're hearing like they're more direct line to their customers in whatever area they're in, or maybe it can be more targeted in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that that's a good strategy to start with at least before kind of tackling maybe a larger influencer who has other partnerships or things going on?
Yeah, I think more micro influencers are kind of more authentic personally. Like if someone
Right.
I know that just started, they're going to post what they like. But again, you can
Right.
tell from someone's feed if they're authentic or not. But even partnering with like friends that you know that even have social media accounts, I think it's important for people already to get the word out before you even start working with bloggers and get people that run businesses to mention things for you too.
Oh, for sure. No, that makes a ton of sense. Um, well, and I guess I told a lot of my followers they were asking like, don't just ask about brands partnering. Ask about how do I get started if I want to be
Yeah.
an influencer, if I want to start writing about what I love or what's authentic to me. And so like, I guess if you could give them 3 to 5 things
Mm-hmm.
just to get started,
It's
take a step.
started. Yeah, it started. Start clean on an Instagram page. Wipe your page. Start posting the same types of filtered photos. Get a feed for what you like. Like if it's all home stuff, like keep posting that. Tag every brand you can think of. Somebody's going to start reposting you. Like my first people that started reposting me was L Space, and they started following me. And that was like 3 years ago. And I remember being like, "Oh my God, L Space is following me." Like it just slowly happens, but it's just keep tagging and keep mentioning people and keep getting reposted so other people see you, and start a
Right.
blog. Like it's really important to have a blog with your name on it.
Right.
So if Instagram crashes or something crashes, you have everything up on that website for people to see your work. Like I think more than not, like Shopbop I'm working with now, they don't even care about Instagram. They want me to just do blog posts and runs their ads on there. So a lot of brands
Right.
just look at different certain ways to get their word out, and might not be Instagram. I mean, I know I mentioned this to you on our call, but
Yeah.
TikTok is really popping off. Like I personally love it, and so does I mean, a billion people. Everything I post on there, it's crazy to me. Like that I got my blowout today, 40,000 views. I mean, that was like 3 hours ago. It's
Right.
just very viral on there, and I think it's good for businesses to use every single outlet you can right now.
Exactly. Like, own those channels. You own the message. Why not
Hmm.
be in that space? And really, it just speaks to how much video is really contributing to what we're
Right.
looking at and what people are interested in, because,
Hmm.
that's shifting too. So I think that's really good. And I mean, like, if you are posting on let's say Instagram or Facebook or, even TikTok, how important
Hmm.
is it to use things like the same filter or, hashtags and like all of that? Like, do you really pay attention to that, or is that
Hmm.
more just
Yeah.
a nice to
I'm,
do?
yeah, I'm very picky on my photos that I post, on editing them. Like if I look at the photo and I wouldn't stop if I saw it, I won't post it. Like I'm just really into the photography side of things. And then
Right.
hashtag, I mean, you have to hashtag everything. I mean, some of my photos that I hashtag on trips, I mean, they'll get 10,000 views just from a hashtag. So I think that's really important too.
For
Same
sure.
with TikTok, hashtag, you have a capacity on there, but it shows people around you. If I post North Carolina Ocean Isle Beach, for one example, we did a TikTok on the beach last weekend. I posted it real time, tagged Ocean Isle, North Carolina, and I swear it shows on your For You page people that are in that vicinity, because we got on the
Right.
boat 20 minutes later and a boat with two guys was like, I just saw you on TikTok. It was the craziest thing.
That is insane. That's really, it just goes to show you the power of social media, though.
Hmm.
You can't just keep saying they really got to dive in and see it for themselves. And I think sharing those types of analytics or things that you're finding is just a fun way to do that.
Yeah.
Man, but I mean, gosh, I feel like I could talk about this for an hour more,
Yeah.
but I don't want to keep you too much, especially since you're outside and I know it's
Oh,
probably
it's
100
it's it's
degrees.
actually kind of cloudy. It doesn't matter.
Oh, well, that's
If
good.
anyone has any other questions, just put them in here. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
but I don't think I think we covered all the ones I got too.
Yeah, we like to cover the gamut. I like to come with a plan of questions in mind.
But I'm
But
just trying to think of like if you're getting started too, like just reach out to people that you're already seeing. Like my hairstylist, I was already going to before I blogged, and then we
right,
partnered on things. The girl I went to get all my facials done, like I was paying for it, but now we do a partnership. So I think it's best to start with people that you've been loyal to and that you know and care about, because you I guess like one of the worst experiences I had is was I someone had offered me to come and get a facial in Burlington for free. And of course I like accepted it without even thinking it. And like I had used retinol, didn't even think about it. She did a
right.
facial. She was brand new. Looked like freaking cat scratches. I'm not even kidding. And it was a weekend before my cousin's wedding for
Oh
three
no.
days because you're not supposed to get a facial with retinol. And I didn't know that. And she didn't even ask me. And it was a microdermabrasion, like a new thing, literally whole face. It was awful. So that's just like
Right.
one example of like do your research and trust people and just don't accept free stuff. It's like not worth it.
Every
And
time.
that's why I like working a full-time job too, because I like to choose what my own things and I'll pay for it. I'll pay and stay at a 5-star place before stay at a 3-star for free.
No, that makes total sense. And I mean, I think that's good, especially, you don't want to just accept everything. You don't know where that's going to
Hmm.
lead. So I think that's really good advice. And I mean, do you feel like there's a blogger network out there where you guys can run
Yeah.
ideas off of each other and work
There
together?
is
Like,
like to know it. That's a whole nother side. And affiliate marketing, you see girls posting the links on it. It's called Reward Style. There's Facebook groups that once you're in that you can join, and I leveraged that a lot when I first started. It's like 10,000s of girls on there where you can just put a Facebook message onto the chat and ask questions like, have you worked with this brand before? Have you worked with this brand before? And just see people's opinions and support each other. And if you have like a new product, or even some PR companies are on there, like with brands that girls do on the side, and they'll be like, we need some girls to market this for us, and people will sign
right.
up. So it's a really good network there too.
No, that's very interesting. So, like, have you ever done a brand partnership with more than just yourself? Like, maybe a group of you got together and
Yeah.
y'all were,
Hmm. Like
okay,
we've
what does
done,
that look like?
like a couple girls have posted like brand, PR firms wanted a group of girls to go to this hotel or stuff like that before. we did a trip to Exuma, and it was a bunch of us that went down there, and we all had to do blog posts, but kind of like group things like that. And then I know Dry Bar here locally has girls come and get their hair done too.
Right. Kind of like a
Stuff
fun
like that.
event,
Mm-hmm.
networking, but also having fun.
Yeah.
No, I love that. And then, we've kind of seen some brands do those. I think they're called loop giveaways. Is that
Oh
something
yeah.
you like, or
I
would
only
you
like
rather just do your own thing?
I only like doing it with a small group of girls or girls I know. Like in the beginning
Right.
when you're growing, I get it. But now at this point, again, it's just like back to authenticity. Like it,
Right.
after trying it a couple of times, it was like, was those followers even know me? Is it even worth it? It's not even picking up on views. I see
Right.
that the group on Facebook, I think it's a reward style group, but you have to be a like to know it member because they ask you for your login for that. But if you search like reward style, bloggers, it should come up.
And to be a like to know it member, do you have to have a certain number of followers, or how do you go about doing
No,
that?
it's really, you have to apply to them. So
Okay.
I think I applied like 2 or 3 times before getting accepted. But again, they like to see a theme on your page. So if you're a home
Right.
blogger, they want to see that you've been tagging and have a lot of posts about it, like with fashion before they just don't accept anyone that just has a page. Mm-hmm.
Right. That makes a ton of sense. Well, that's super helpful. I don't know if anyone has any other questions you want us to ask Becca. I feel like we've covered most of them here in the comments as well in the question box. You could submit by clicking the comment section below, or there should be a question button that you could also select. So if you have any more, we'll be sure to hit those. But I feel like, gosh, I'm really inspired, and I know a lot of my clients are going to be calling me after this, like, okay, I'm ready to get started. Like, let's start making a list. So I think that that's super helpful.
Yeah.
Um,
And anybody else, feel free to DM me questions you have. I'm an open book and I check those regularly.
for sure. And so before we do head out, can you remind our viewers where they can find you, all the different places?
Yeah, so you can find me on my name. It's pretty easy, Becca Ingle for Instagram, TikTok, and my website.com. And I think I'm not on Facebook, but I don't really do much marketing on there, just
Yeah.
personal. So, and then my husband's restaurant's Baby Moon Cafe if you feel like eating
Oh, nice.
Italian too in Raleigh. But we're pretty much just back and forth from Raleigh to Ocean Isle Beach.
What's your next trip you're planning?
We're going to Ocean Isle tomorrow.
Oh,
So we'll be
gosh.
back there.
Take me with you. I love the beach. Well, perfect. Well, thank you so much, Becca. I
Yeah.
appreciate you joining us today.
Thanks, everyone.
Yep. Hope you
Bye.
have a good weekend. Bye.
You too. Bye.
Well, I just want to thank you guys again. The questions were so great. Thanks for tuning in. As a reminder, we'd love for you to share our content. It'll be on our Instagram TV channel, and we'll also be sharing that with Becca. So if you're one of her followers on here, be looking for that as well. If you're interested in talking with our team more about influencer marketing and how you can get started with your brand, whether you're a small mom and pop, even nonprofits, larger brands, we are actually offering a free 1-hour consultation. You can find that on our website at the top, www.mckeemancommunications.com. And you can click on that button and we will get something set up with you. But thanks again for joining us, and we will see you next week.